Listen to Chamberlain, the jacket of the water to power plant. Why you keeping the boat there for? You listen.
They're coming to talk to the superintendent, the representative, where they were saying they will do they want it, do they want to do that one. Then they try and cheat about the road condition. Now my market in the bush, all of my people, my black bone, some of my
where you say.
I say go to online no more. Therefore, the support for our family. Not the support our family. They used to embarrass our on the former president we are regime. But since the government took over, we don't have freedom in real life. It's a great challenge for us as a motorcyclist and run in real life to say we are failure or foreigner.
First of all, I'm a product of the University of Liberia. I have my first degree from there. I have my second degree from there. The University of Liberia is the state-owned institution, the highest institution of learning in this country.
So how does today make you feel, Councillor?
To make me feel good that at least the truth prevail, we have recognition, and all along, I was on the Truth and Reconciliation Commission.
I mean, people call me and say, 10 million again? Well, what is that? What I did for this money? What happened? I said, let me arrest you for 10 million. My sister, 10 million? I didn't do anything with 10 million. 10 million is for the World Food Program.
KOOL comes to you from the News and Current Affairs Department of KOOL 91.9. You can listen to K News at 6 a.m., 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. every weekdays as we bring to you your news makers. K News. Get all of the latest in the world of news. K News.
From the witness testimony today, I know I'm innocent. A police officer who goes to the bathroom for 7 different times, testifying lies, car.
It's senseless. No video evidence. No, wait until after the judgment.
You don't have evidence to carry the protocol? Then you call the pope. Oh yeah, I listen to Chamberlain, the jacket of the water to power plant. Why you keeping the boat there for?
Good morning from the heart of New City. Welcome to K News, a 45 minutes news presentation about Africa, Liberia, and the rest of our global world. Today is Friday, August 8, 2025, and I'm E. Gagaswa, bringing you this edition of K News. We take a short break, and when we return, we'll bring you the full package of K News. Stay tuned. To K News as we take our first development, where the chairman of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority, Clarence Massaquoi, has revealed steps to make Liberia a digital monetization, granting the country with various social media platforms. The LTA boss said the institution has established contact with some social media service providers, including Meta, the owner of Facebook, but Liberia intend to register and comply with their monetization policy. Clarence Massaquoi said the move is intended to ensure that Liberians content creators receive financial benefit from their craft by getting easier access to monetize their account. According to Commissioner Massaquoi, Facebook, TikTok, and other social media platforms are benefiting from content posted on the internet by Liberian social media users, stating that there is a need to create a space for shared benefit. The LTA boss underscores that Liberia currently faces restrictions to social media monetization policy due to non-negotiated monetization terms and agreements with various social media platforms.
What LTA wants to do is, those who are content creators here, I understand Facebook pays $20 for every 1,000 views. So if you were to look around our country, there are some people who have, and I will be conservative, people who have 5,000 views, some of them 10,000 views, some of them 50,000 views in days. The LTA has mandated Commissioner Patrick Hunter to lead on this process. It's my information that one of our staff, he's working with one of our staff, Vivian Pana. They have established contact with Facebook to inform them that we as Liberia wants to benefit from this. We have a lot of content creators whose work has been viewed by people all across the world, and they are not making money from it. In other words, Facebook is actually making money from them without them having a share. We think that this is a very big concern for us. We have our comedians here. We have a wide range of content creators. So we have established relationship. We are in the process of establishing that relationship. Facebook and other social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, and the rest of the platform. So, but yes, we have established contacts, and I understand that the person who received this communication from LTA, from Liberia, said, "This is what we've been waiting for." And the person said that we're finding it difficult to have African countries or smaller countries, smaller populations, taking advantage of this opportunity. It's only the big countries like Nigeria. I understand Nigeria is now subscribed to this. So you can imagine most of the Nigerian comedians that we are watching, because we are watching them, we are using data to watch them. So what we want to do is to domesticate that. We have Liberians who create content. And if a Liberian was making, for example, $500 every month because of the content they are creating, once that registration is done, all of those who are creating content, I'm sure you can register directly. But it is our job to make sure as a country we are subscribed to that system.
And that's the voice of Clarence Massacre of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority. To this development, Grand Bassa Senator Bwezanga Milton Finney has announced plans to implement what he termed as friend mentioned him at curbing the trafficking and high consumption of illicit drugs in the country. Senator Finney believes drug traffickers should not be granted bail bonds and the accused must be held accountable by the full weight of the law. He emphasized the importance of ensuring that drug suspects remain in legal custody and face court trial as a deterrent to others. The Grand Bassa lawmaker pointed to the enforcement of drug law as a critical step in addressing what he described as a growing epidemic among Liberians' youth. Senator Finney reaffirmed his commitment to taking stronger action against drug peddlers and addicts to continue to fuel problems in Grand Bassa County. The lawmaker expressed concerns over alleged compromises by some drug enforcement officers and urged them to maintain integrity in handling drug-related cases in the county. He also attributed the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency's weak performance in the fight against drugs to inadequate logistical support from Central Authority, which he says has hampered the agency's ability in the drugs fight.
Is the enforcement.
Okay.
The law is that once you are arrested for trafficking or selling of illegal drugs, you are not entitled to a bond. You should be in jail until you have the opportunity to get to court. So we know that most of the drug dealers in our communities are arrested and are released. We're going to come down on that. We're going to crack down on that. Like I said, I made a commitment that we're going to fight the dealers in Basso. I made it clear that once I'm elected, I think they should pack the bags and leave Grand Bassa County. We've engaged with the leadership of the DEA. We understand that we have problems in Basso with our DEA. The agents here need to understand that we are quite aware of the activities in Basso, and they need to get their act together, and fast and quick, because it's going to be a different ball game. It's going to be a very different ball game.
What are those?
You know, one of the issues. Some of the issues, I'm not saying one, but some of the issues is integrity issues.
Okay.
Compromising with drug dealers, arresting drug dealers, and then again you release them. We have checkpoints, and they are the checkpoints, and they arrest these people and let them go and come into the community. Other issues are also on the side of the state itself. Resources are not forthcoming. There are not enough resources for them. Of course, we increased the budget for the DEA from $2 million. We gave them $4 million. We added additional $2 million to the budget this year. So we are expected to see some changes, and we are watching to see how those changes will come. You know, there's a new administration also, so we have to give them some chance to see how they will. You know, it's a security matter. It's not something that just get up and happen. But we are looking forward. It's been more than 6 months now, so we know that we should be seeing some changes, and it's the reverse. I mean, I got a story that there's a guy who was arrested at the checkpoint in Orange Grove, and the people in the taxi, by the time the taxi got to Buchanan, he was already in Buchanan with the drugs. These kinds of stories, when we hear, whether it's true or not true, it's of major concern to us.
Well, beyond.
And as Grand Bassa Senator Milton Wezenga finished speaking, a lifeless body of a 50-year-old woman identified as Helen Moore was discovered during the evening hours of Wednesday, August 6, 2025, in an abandoned Hosanna Hotel. Hosanna Hotel is located in Washoe Camp Community, Hansville Township of Grand Bassa County. The Hosanna Hotel, once a functional facility, has remained deserted for over 3 decades. The hotel ceased operation before the Liberian Civil War and is now frequently occupied by disadvantaged youth and squatters. The Crime Services Department of the Liberian National Police Depot 1 Detachment of Grand Bassa County has launched an investigation into circumstances surrounding Ellen's Moore death. However, a 50-member coroner has reported no sign of foul play in connection to her death. The commander of the Crime Services Department of Depot 1, Sergeant Arce Dua, disclosed that early observation point to the possibility of narcotic involvement. Medical authority is yet to confirm any toxicology finding. The body of Ellen Moore, a native of Riverside County, was later claimed by her family for burial. Her death has raised serious concerns about drug abuse and the use of unsafe abandoned buildings as informal shelters.
You know, just the one CSD commander, I was called to buttress to the work here in Bassa. Though I'm not a son here, I sound in compound 1 as commander, but I have to buttress because I have the expertise, let's say. So we came with the doctor, we call the ORC from the Liberian National Government Hospital. They pronounced the lady dead, and we constituted a 15-man jury, and they came up with a verdict of no foul play. And presently we are awaiting the family from Riverside to come and sign for the body for preservation.
What's the name of the deceased?
The deceased is Ellen Moore from Riverside. She's 51 years.
Oh, she's from Riverside, but she...
Yeah, she's child here from Riverside.
What did you hear regarding her death?
No, what we heard yesterday, they said she's wise, she close with the people. But what we saw is resemble like somebody that suffer under the influence of these narcotic substances. Yeah, because of the fume from the mouth and nose. So actually tell us my wife went home.
It's a fume in the nose.
Yeah, fume in the mouth, yeah.
And as Grand Bassa County Depot 1 Commander Sergeant Arce Stewart provided an update on the unfortunate death of Madam Ellen Moore in Grand Bassa County. And to this development, aggrieved family members of Emmanuel Payne, an agent of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agencies, has threatened to take matters in their own hands in avenging the death of their son. The family vowed to attack those they believe were allegedly responsible for their son's death. Agent Emmanuel Payne was killed by mob violence on Benson Street in the township of Caldwell while attempting to arrest a man suspected of carrying a parcel of drugs. Speaking in an interview with reporter on the relative paraded with the photo of the late agent On the bourgeois island, the relatives of the victim, including his brother and mother, said they are prepared to move on all those linked to the killing of the DEA officer. According to them, they will never bury Emmanuel Payne until the Liberian government can bring those responsible for his death to justice.
For a peaceful march, meaning that the government measures were just, put stop to just, and he went to do the function of the government. Now the government says no consent, no act, more than the CA. Not talking nothing of it. They are expecting us, the free family or the victim, to carry information to them. So we're not here to argue with the government, we're not here to debate with the government. We have one justice, and there must be a justice for the lady man. Absolutely no consent. Since July 22nd at 4 to 5 o'clock p.m. the incident occurred. Since then, we have nothing from the government and we're hearing nothing from the DA sector set. I said the point and he was on duty, not off duty. At the incident occurred. Work for him, for the government, to manifest the power as hard as they should do. Unfortunately, he was killed. We see no impact, we see no momentum for them, we see you hearing nothing from them, no cause, no complaint, no information. We can go there to get our information, then they'll be asking us what going on. So that's the question there. So I don't know when we're sending messages to them, but they want to eliminate us, and we're not afraid of no one. And we take it to come and look out on the other side. As we a family, we don't want for Liberia to go backwards, but our family can open a family dispute and get rid of his own people. Only they put force or they put and step and they talk into him. We'll get to their family too and do it when he get hurt, they will take it from there too. Maybe that's how they did the money. So when he was killed, we're going there for a peaceful march and get the government a second chance. So when that come into it, they will do anything that we should do. So who also die? I'll be waiting to die today or tomorrow for my sin. It will happen.
My son was killed by the DA. And my son said that my son said the complaint. I'm not telling my son that before we are trying to sell my son now. More than 3 years, we went there. He said, "Mother, for work and pay." He was running, and today the boys are just about government. They were able to call him back. Inside working up on the promoter, he now making the came for. Or to you, they came my son, and they now want to bury my son. My son was over there. The people who said they can't come to me. Said they can't water me. I said to walk with them. I would came my son. Then they want for me to go bury my son. All the way down, everything my dad. So if they my son blood today to go anywhere I want to go, they want to take me.
And that's relative of the late LDA agent Emmanuel Payne that's speaking. Grand Bassa County Scrap Committee has announced accumulation of US $23,752 from the sale of 21 truckload of scrap collected from Asalameta Liberia concession area between July 28 and August 4, 2025. Speaking on behalf of the committee, Chairman Boto Lee disclosed that the 21 truckloads weigh a total of 3,392 kilograms, marking a significant boost in revenue generation for the county. According to Chairman Lee, the latest sales has pushed the total amount raised from 4 scrap transactions to US $61,385, all of which has been deposited in the county official bank account for future use. The committee reaffirms its commitment to transparency and accountability, promising timely updates to keep citizens informed about the ongoing scrap-related operation and earnings. With raising community expectations, many residents are now turning their attention to how these funds will be used to support local development and improve public service in Grand Bassa County.
Beginning July 28th to August 4th, we had a total of 21 trucks, and then those 21 trucks generated a total of 339,310. Up to date, for the week, we have a total of 21 trucks. The 21 trucks generated 339,310 kilograms, and we converted that 339,310 kilograms, $52.01 rather. So going back to the fair update, so we can know how much we have total as a fund generated. Up to date, we have a total of $61,385.62 that has been generated so far since this committee took over. So we want to say thank you to the public out there. Please continue to engage us as we continue to work in the interest of the people of Grand Bassa to ensure that any monetary value that comes out of the scrap metal, it comes to the county and it can be realized as a people. Thank you very much.
And that's the voice of Bonto Lee, who is the chairman of Grand Bassa Scrap Committee, providing update. And if you're just joining our way, it's a reminder that you are listening to K News, a 45-minute news presentation about Africa, Liberia, and the rest of our world. My name is E. Jidaga Gaswa on this Friday, August 8, 2025 edition of K News. To this development, former Deputy Youth and Sport Minister Ase Do has criticized President Joseph Yoma Boakai for what he described as a low and reactive approach in addressing the drugs epidemic. Do accused President Boakai of failing to take concrete steps despite declaring drugs abuse a national emergency during his first State of the Nation address. The Deputy Minister argued that the Unity Party-led administration's inaction contradicts its earlier campaign rhetorics, which strongly condemned the proliferation of drugs using a reign of former ruling Coalition for Democratic Change. Asedo claimed that the government's recent anti-drug strategy was not part of a genuine long-term agenda, but a reaction to public pressure. According to Do, the timing of the plan released just hours before the protests reflect the Boakai Combs administration's lack of commitment to proactively lead a genuine reform. Asedo believes the proposed strategy is unlikely to produce results as it lacks the foundation of early-stage planning and political will.
The president released what he calls a plan to fight drugs. I'm not sure if you guys talk about it. You are not hearing anyone criticize the president. 2 years from now, we'll be asking him what happened. Then you will hear our brothers coming, he spoke in contest. Today, he is not speaking in no contest at all. So these are some of the things that we always speak about. President Boakai has been president for 2 years now, almost. The people came together and said they want to protest on tomorrow, raising awareness on the issue of drugs. President Boakai remembered that, our president was supposed to get drugs policy, so let me release it to today. He had not remembered from January 2024. He just remembered today that he's president and he should be the one taking the charge. Who here now can agree that the president is serious about anything he does? Stand I'll send you the clip. I wish you can play it. During the president's first State of the Nation address, he said the issue of drugs was a national emergency and he constituted a team to tackle that issue. The president didn't bring any report of what they have accomplished from 2024 rather. Today, the president just remembered that he needed to put out a plan for combating drugs just because the people said tomorrow they come and shoot the march. It only tells you that these things will not work. Because you don't plan for it. You just want to show like you're doing something. To end on the...
And that's the voice of former Deputy Youth and Sport Minister Asedo there speaking. The Executive Director of the National Rehabilitation for Drugs and War-Affected Persons has commended President Joseph Boakai's recent plan aimed at combating the increase in the sales and consumption of drugs on the Liberian market. On Wednesday, August 6, 2025, President Boakai, in a special statement, announced an aggressive multi-pronged national anti-drugs action plan in response to the alarming surge in drugs. The newly announced National Anti-Drugs Action Plan, to be implemented immediately in accordance with law, includes seizure of property linked to drugs activity, a performance mandate for the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency's regional commander with a 6-month result deadline, and a whistleblower program with cash reward. But speaking to K News, retired Lieutenant Colonel Augustine Nambe describes the President's recent statement as the right step in the right direction. Nambe called on the Liberian populace to cooperate with the President in order to avoid the country's journey into Haiti in the near future.
First, I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia. As a veteran, we say bravo to the President of the Republic of Liberia for what he just stated on the Jaws issue. Jaws cartel will not get no seat in this country. They should continue to be running around until we kick Jaws out of Liberia. Jaws is not good, and we say no to Jaws. According to all Liberians, to always say no to Jaws and tell the President thank you. What we need and what the President already did, the executive order the President gave, is enough. We want to go after Jaws people. It is enough. The President gave order to move, to destroy all Jaws cartel and bring them to book and bring them under the law. The law must be their way and they must also be their way. Let the law take a course. For what the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia said, we say bravo to him and we say thanks. And to all listening audience, we are calling on you people today to say thank you to the President of the Republic of Liberia for that order he gave. That is what we've been looking for. Because our children in the graveyard, they are to different kind of places, get to other places dying. And nobody cares for them. But I extend my thanks and appreciation again to the Commander-in-Chief of the Republic of Liberia. According on the President, all ministers, directors, civil society across the country should be tested of drugs. We want drug tests to be across the country. We started with the minister first. The President already did drug tests. My panel will be coming in the country in collaboration with me. We will be carrying on the drug testing situation. So I want to say thanks to the President and thanks to the Liberian people for how they cooperated.
And that's the voice of retired Colonel Augustine Nambe that's speaking. And to this development, the National Rubber Brokers and Farmers Union of Liberia have called on President Joseph Yuma Boakai to reconsider his restriction rather placed on the export of unprocessed rubber across the country. It can be recalled that on Friday, August 1st, 2025, President Boakai issued Executive Order Number 151 mandating a compulsory processing of raw rubbers, including latex, cob lump, bag scrap, and ground scrap, among others, before exportation. The executive order, which took immediate effect, highlighted that only technical specified rubber is exempted from the mandatory processing of export restriction But addressing the news conference on Wednesday, August 7, 2025, the president of the National Rubber Brokers and Farmers Union of Liberia, James Sekeyen, said the executive order threatens the existence of small rubber farmers and brokers in the rubber industry. According to Sekeyen, small rubber farmers and brokers lack the capacity to process raw rubber, and restricting the export of unprocessed rubber will marginalize small rubbers in the farming sector. Sekeyen questions new fiscal fees attached to the rubber sector, which includes 4% presumption tax and rubber development funds and a surcharge of US $150 per metric ton. He argues that the slight increment in taxes also poses a challenge to small rubber farmers and brokers who sell on a low scale and do not receive subsidies from the government. The National Rubber Brokers and Union Farmers pleads with the President to reconsider his decision and allow the export of both processed and unprocessed rubber to give small rubber farmers a viable space to fairly compete in the rubber sector.
It is advisable that the government of Liberia reinstates the export duty on both processed and unprocessed rubber in addition to those mentions above, and government will generate tons of money as processed rubber and cob lumps will be generating revenues for the government. We call on all progressive forces to engage with the executives to reconsider its decisions to allow trade to be conducted without the elements of Executive Order 151. Enough is enough.
The Liberian rubber sectors have suffered for too long and still suffering from the negative impact of moratorium. Unfavorable buying conditions from the fuel processing companies in Liberia, depriving Liberians opportunity to sell on the basis of willing sellers and willing buyers. Let this be placed on the record that this generation of smallholder rubber farmers and brokers will not accept any condition that intend to deprive the Liberian people economically.
That's the voice of Jean Sekayan. He is the president of the National Rubber Brokers and Farmer Union of Liberia, speaking to K News. To this development, Labour Minister Councillor Cooper Crowd has lauded and support for the Women's Solidarity March against drug abuse. Councillor Crowd extolled trade unions organizations that were part of the Solidarity March and urged them to continue the anti-drugs campaign in various communities. Minister Crowd has expressed full support for and call on trade union organizations across the country to lead the campaign against drugs in their various communities.
Solidarity March against drugs abuse. And this is important. We like to just add our voice to this. We want to call upon our trade union organizations around the country, all of our young people. You know, we just did a vacation job here, and most of the young people are now up and down with the vacation job. But it's important. That message is not only for the women, it's for the children, it's for the elderly, it's for our young people. The future of this country should be in the hands of our young people, so that if you will hold the mantle of authority in the future, you got to be sober. You have to be someone that tomorrow should be able to count upon. You can't do that as a drug addict. Let's say no to drugs. And we like to join the women. We like to join all well-meaning Liberians to say no to drugs. Let us fight against it. Let this madness be thrown out of our country. We support the women, and let's just not support them in words, but in spirit and in deed. Thank you very much.
That's Labour Minister Councillor Cooper Crowd speaking. The Joint Committee on Concession Compliance and Review at the 55th Legislature has disclosed that the Hummingbird Liberia Limited Company has acknowledged a financial obligation to the government of Liberia. During the public hearing, the committee revealed that the company's executive officer and administrative finance manager, Mr. Bryant Riches and Claus Massaquet, admitted to owing the government approximately $2.4 million. However, the Liberia Revenue Authority has placed the company total arrears for the government at an amount of $3.4 million. The public hearing is part of the legislature's broader mandate to review dormant and underperforming concession agreements to ensure compliance, transparency, and deliver of benefit to affected communities. The company acknowledgement marks a significant step in reconciling long-standing financial obligations, said Representative Fode Famule, chairman of the Joint Committee. Representative Famule added that there is now mutual recognition of arrears though with differing figures, which gave the path towards reconciliation. The Bon County District 7 lawmaker added that the committee is optimistic that with continued engagement and enforcement, the matter will be concluded in the shortest possible time.
There have been a consistent, less effort placed in reviewing and ensuring that there is proper compliance with those laws that have been passed. As such, the House of Representatives, through the Speaker and Plenary, set up a joint committee to do full compliance review of all concessions. And that process is ongoing. As I speak to you, there are few concessions that have been invited. and those concessions, we are looking out for tax obligations, social contribution that they should do, basic obligations that are enshrined in the concession contract. So it is from that backdrop we are consistently following up on the compliance. Aspect of it is the issue of Hummingbird. Hummingbird has been one of those dormant concession contracts that has been signed, no active work been going on. So we wanted to know also where they are as a concession in terms of compliance, what is the benefit thereto, and what is it that they are putting in motion for the citizens to benefit in some and other counties in the Southeast. Taking that into consideration, they have acknowledged from the area standpoint, there's an outstanding arrears of 3.4 million. From the Hummingbird standpoint, they are acknowledging that they owe government something in the tune of 2.4 million. So at least we're getting somewhere. And I feel strongly within the next 60 days, we can be able to complete the issues on Hummingbird and they can make payment to the government cover. That was not a payment that we're expecting, but based on the fact that we're willing to put our feet on the ground, that payment will be done in the shortest.
And that's Representative for the family there speaking. The youth wing of the opposition Alternative National Congress has described as unfortunate the recent incident in which a woman gave birth in an open space at the John F. K. Medical Center. Speaking at a press conference, ANC Youth Secretary General Aliu Kadit said the situation is deeply troubling and unacceptable in a country that is part of the 21st century. He noted that the incident has sparked outrage among women across the country and called on JFK to immediately reverse what he referred to as a derelict policy. According to Kadi, pregnancy is a medical emergency and no woman should be turned away from receiving care simply because she cannot afford the required delivery fees. His comment followed a controversial memo recently issued by the John F. Kennedy Memorial Hospital announcing an increase in the cost of delivery services, a move the ANC youth wing described as unfortunate.
That we cannot pretend to ignore them until the end of the month. Recently, we witnessed a sad situation in our country. A scene that people shouldn't see. A scene that our country should be ashamed of. A pregnant woman giving birth on the street of JFK. That is an unfortunate situation. That shouldn't be happening in our country. A country that should be part of the 21st century. A country that says we have leadership. A country that purports to have a president of 42 years of government experience. That shouldn't be happening. That is an unfortunate situation. Our parents are angry. Women across this country are angry. That is belittling. It is an unfortunate situation, like we say. And therefore, we call on the JFK to desist from instituting, should desist from operating, and should desist from carrying out such a draconian regulation. Pregnancy is an emergency situation. Most pregnant women in this country, after 9 months, you do not know when you give birth. So it is an emergency situation that our people should not be turned away because they don't have 65 USD to deposit in JFK covers before they can be attended to. The next time such a thing happens, we will not only vibrate the system, will get on the street and demand a total overhaul of the JFK facility. Such a thing should not be happening. We thought at the age of the president, he would have gone for historical glory and honor, but unfortunately, the president has endeavored to live in luxury and vulgarities.
The ANC youth star at the same time has slammed Deputy Information Minister Daniel Sando of the Ministry of Information, Culture Affairs and Tourism and Minister Jeremy McPia for what, in his words, he knowing the real problem affecting ordinary Liberians and instead of focusing on political propaganda. And Kelly said it is now time that the two top government officials at the Ministry of Information, Culture Affairs and Tourism dwell on the reality of the day and disengage in propaganda.
About those numbers. Instead, you come and play politics. Look, nobody plays politics with real issues. If the people are hungry, there's no amount of propaganda that Daniel Sano and the information minister Jeremy Pia can put out there to suggest that the people's stomachs are filled. When a hungry man is hungry, there's no propaganda that can suggest that the man's stomach is filled. Because these are realities. These are realities. When Patrick Honda generator makes over 3,000 USD and he goes to birthday parties and throw about money, these are real issues in the country that Daniel Sano and the next should be concerned about.
And that's the voice of Aliu Kelly, who is the Secretary General of the Opposition Alternative National Youth Congress. To this development, the Executive Director of the Consumer Rights Movement, Ase Ross, is urging all Liberians to join the nationwide To this development, the Liberia Agricultural Commodity Regulatory Authority has ended a one-day deliberation aimed at validating the process of cocoa and coffee on the local and international market. Speaking during the opening ceremony, LACRA Director General Dan Sai said the discussion is aligned with the arrest agenda for inclusive development. According to Sai, farmers and exporters so the farmer will be able to be like middle-class business person and benefit from the basic social services. The LAGRA Director General stressed the need to stabilize the process of cocoa and coffee so that I can benefit like partners in the West African region.
As a founder of the consumer right, I really love that everybody have the right to consume, right? And everyone will consume. What is true that you are coming on to march peacefully and asking your government to do this? The first thing, the question is there, have you asked yourself, what do we expect the government to do in this level that we're all consuming drugs in this country? That means you got a child in your house that's abusing alcohol, that is abusing drugs, and it's your child. And you protect the child in your house. You get them food, you get them shelter, everything is your child.
For the first time, we are having a stakeholder meeting to decide what price our cocoa should go for in Monrovia, what price it should go for in River G, what price the farmers sitting down in Lofa, in Varon, in every part of this country will buy a cocoa for a price that will be deemed fair for every actor. A system that will be deemed fair to local buyers who will buy and honor our system and structure that will receive a commission because he has been able to go in the bush to buy cocoa. We are here this morning to set history in place and to make sure that we set the pace for President Joseph Newman Boakai visions about transforming agriculture, about making sure that farmers don't continue to farm and live in huts, but they must have the fair share of the work they do in their garden, on their farms. This is historic. It's historic because we believe 60% of you who sit around here, your parents brought you up through farming. Because we believe it is through agriculture that over 60% of our farmers are employed. This government, the vision number one is to set that stage. We are here to make sure that we become the operatives in the field, to create that enabling environment, to make sure that our farmers are served and given the opportunity so that tomorrow our children can have a better enabling environment for improved education system, for improved healthcare system, for better road conditions, and to live better for themselves and for their children. We are here in this business because we want to make sure that agriculture remains a success story. We believe you're going to work with us to do many other things that are beyond the scene that we are unleashing. This is just the beginning of some of the things that we plan to do. We are now also organizing ourselves to make sure that we do farmers mapping. And when we get done and get started with farmers mapping, we provide incredible data to our development partners, to our government. Farmers will be profiled, the sex of those farmers, their farm location, the GPS coordinate and everything that is required to make sure that farmers can be located everywhere, to make sure that questions of traceability, which seem to be haunting Liberian cocoa, particularly from the southeast down, will be addressed.
we will make sure that smuggling of cocoa across.
And that's the voice of LACRA Director General Dan Saida speaking. And through this development, Liberia is hosting the West African Logistics Conference, which focuses on strengthening regional security and improving military logistics across West African states. The conference aims to enhance defense practices, foster collaborations, boost readiness through innovation, and strengthen solidarity among regional militaries. Speaking at the opening of the conference, Defense Minister Geraldine George emphasized the importance of the partnership, preparedness, and shared expertise among ECOWAS member states and African partners. Minister George highlighted logistics as the backbone of an effective military operation in addressing transitional threats and humanitarian crises. The defense boss thanked African partners for their ongoing support in training, resources, and technical assistance, which have significantly contributed to regional security. She called on delegates to work together with unity, innovation, and mutual respect to ensure a stable and secure West Africa.
This gathering underscores our collective commitment to strengthening regional security, enhancing interoperability, and optimizing logistic capabilities across our arms. In an era of evolving security challenges, from transnational threats to humanitarian crises, logistics remains the backbone of effective military operations. Liberia as a nation has experienced the transformation power of peacekeeping and security sector reform. Deeply appreciate the value of partnership, preparedness, and shared expertise. The presence of our ECOWAS brothers and sisters alongside our valued partners from Africa reaffirms our shared vision of a stable, secure, and prosperous West Africa. The conference presents an invaluable opportunity to enhance the practice in defense logistics and supply chain management, foster collaborations to address common security challenges, enhance readiness through innovation and capacity building, and to strengthen the bonds of solidarity amongst ECOWAS militaries. To our African partners, we extend our gratitude for your sustained commitment to Africa's security architecture. Your support in training, resources mobilization, and technical assistance continues to make a tangible difference. To our delegates, let us seize this moment to forge practical solutions that will alleviate all our collective operational effectiveness. The security of...
And that's Defense Minister Geraldine George speaking. And to climax the Friday, August 8, 2025 edition of K News, we take our international development, where Cameroon's Constitutional Council has upheld the decision by the country electoral body to exclude opposition leader Maurice Katoma from the 12 October presidential election, while the firebrand political figure was sidelined. 92-year-old President Paul Biya, whose candidacy also faced opposition, was cleared to run for what could be his 8th term in the oil-rich Central African nation. If he were to be elected for another 7 terms, he would remain in power until he was 100. Well, at this juncture, that's how we like to draw down the curtain of this Friday, August 8, 2025 edition of K News. K News, it was a joint production of the News and Current Affairs Department of KOOL 91.9 FM. Many thanks for your listening role. My name is Ijira Gagaswa, our presenter. Do have yourself a good day.